All right, I'm doing another fifth set NCAA breakdown here, and it is Ball State versus Pepperdine. I was excited to see that Ball State clutched this one 16-14, and I'll give you a quick rundown of the game so far. First set, Ball State caught an early lead from a run from Basilio. He was hitting a lot of spin to floats, and they were putting him under pressure, and they just kind of hung that lead. Second set, lots of back and forth, aces, kills, blocks, all of it. Finished with a great block from the Pepperdine middle on Patrick Rogers, so that was pretty hype for them. 1-1. Third set, Ball State ran a Lube system with number 16 on the outside and then number 3 opposite the setter. And it worked out well for them. I mean, there were some things they had to make some adjustments in certain rotations, whatever, but it worked out, and it ended with it was 22-22, and it ended with them just kind of scraping away 3 points in a row, 25-22, as you see here. And then the fourth set, dude, Pepperdine just dominated the whole time, honestly. And Ball State couldn't really get anything going. They were getting blocked a bunch. Pepperdine was hitting a bunch of huge serves. Pepperdine won that set. So now we're getting into the fifth set here, and yeah, it looks like they're going back. They're going with the normal system. Fourth set, they also went the normal system here for Ball State. You got Hartkey over here. He's a monster. He was going OT on everybody. Rogers starting off with the serve. We'll see how it goes here. Spinner, right off the bat, starting the fifth set with a really, really good serve. Almost an ace there. I mean, I would count that as an ace, but I think on the stat sheet it's not. Gets an error there. Hartkey, big serve here. Sadly, he goes off the tape. And this number 16, he's been having a pretty good game. He's hyped. These Ball State guys, they're just dogs. They're athletes, and they're just playing, man. They're just balling. They're going at each other. And Pepperdine, they're all really good, super physical team. That's a really nice swing right there. Just a little bit of space down the line, and he kind of like changes his arm swing a little bit here, as you see, just to make sure that he can hit it down the line. And it's just like, instead of like a full all the way, it's just like here, just this motion, just to make sure it goes down where he wants it, and it's a beautiful swing. And again, like, as we're talking about Ball State just being athletes, Pepperdine, these guys being great athletes, like, you have to just go out of the normal sometimes and just be athletic, especially in a game like this where you need that point right then and there. You can't stick with the fundamentals if it's not going to work for you. A little bit of maybe a low run here. Yeah, low set. You see Patrick Rogers kind of leaning forward, trying to sneak it in between these guys here, but he's bringing it really low to the tape because that set's in front of him and or low. I mean, maybe this is just one of those ones where he kind of should tip, but this libero is pretty quick, so it's kind of hard for him. He might have been over anyways, though, so I guess that ball would have gotten called on him anyways. Big serve from this guy again, and now they're up 3-1 for Pepperdine here. And gets him out of system. Big block, another big block. Pepperdine's starting off really hot here. And this is exactly like what was happening in this fourth set here, is just the big serve, get him out of system, and then they put a really, really solid double block in front of him. So now they're up 4-1. Another nice serve. Good pass, though. Run the middle. Really good run. Really good run. And look at how high he's contacting this ball. That's good on both of these guys. Good on that setter to make sure he's hitting this guy at his peak. And I like how high he contacts that set. But also gets it to there, and then just a great arm swing there. It's not like it's 1,000 miles an hour off his arm, but he's contacting it really high, and at least it gives him range. 2-4. Let's see, floater. Not the best pass here. They're out of system. Going to this guy. Okay, in transition here. Middle again. And this is a different middle now, but great adjustment by him. Smart choice to run the middle in transition. You see this middle's not really biting on it too much because there's been a lot of pin action from Ball State so far. But let's see, good pass. Does that go through? No, okay. Yeah, honestly, I'm not a fan of this, okay? I understand the idea. You have a middle back there. You might want to tip on him. You might be expecting them not to be ready for it, but it's a fifth set. You don't want to take any chances, and this is a big chance here. You're hoping that they fall asleep on this. And obviously the guy didn't fall asleep on this. He does a little half jump, soft tip, nothing crazy. If you're gonna go for it, get up there and dunk it full force, and then max jump too. Like, just a bad idea there in my opinion. It's 4-4. Let's see. Good pass again. Good pass again. Kind of low, but he finds the middle there. Turns into a good recycle. And I do like this setter's hands. I really do. Like, I think he has great hands. But just that one decision I didn't like, that's all. Good swing. They're going out of system here in transition. Lots of weird stuff here. I don't know if he slipped or just kind of messed up there. But they're out of system again, going to heart key. Big old swing. Dude, he's contacting it so high. Ripping it. Pretty decent triple block. There's just a small little gap here from him. And that's where the ball went into. So if he cleans up that triple block a little bit more, just really hugs this middle, gets a lot closer to him, gets comfortable going hip to hip, then maybe he closes that block and gets it. 5-4. Let's see. Good serve, just out of bounds. Just kind of sailed out of bounds there. A little bit of a soft serve there, semi in system. Oof, that's a really nice block there. And this guy, obviously, he's going to be taking the ball super high. Like this, I think he's a more athletic Jake Haynes, And this blocker here, Basilia, he is not the most vertically gifted human, and he still is sealing that high ball where he's reaching as high as he can and pressing just enough to where if it hits anywhere on his arm, it's still going to go down. But he's finding that balance between verticality and pressing forward. And he gets a really nice block there and just turns into a recycle because of a good cover. And then a good tip off the block there. Gosh, and there's so much unpredictability when you just throw it into the arms like that, because it could just go off his arms like that, or it could just go off towards these guys and they cover it, or it could go through and then it's kind of hard to dig at that point. You're introducing a good amount of chaos for yourself there if you're just throwing it into the block in a smart way. Obviously throwing it down into the block is kind of dumb, but for that scenario it was good. Really good swing. I don't know, is this a D-spec? Sorry, let me just rewind this real quick. Yeah, D-spec, spin serve, going back to this guy, gets that one, dig, back here. Good transition here. It's a really nice swing towards that deep corner. And, not only is this a good angle that he's taking here, him going anywhere in this line of attack here is really good, but he still takes it deep, and then it's harder for this guy to dig it. And then because this guy's a little bit too shallow, in my opinion at least, then he kind of pays for it there, A really nice swing. Just a little bit of discipline gets him that point there. Bang. Yeah, a little shuffle move by the middle here. Not a terrible move. He's obviously pressing decently. Turns into a recycle. They're going back to their guy. Can't tell if it's in or out. Looks like it's out. Wow. And he's missed a few just outside the court like that now. He's a great athlete, but he just missed one very, very small. It's a good swing. It was a great swing, and he just missed by a few inches. That happens sometimes. You just have to live with those ones. Good pass. It's a great pass, and then a great choice to run the middle, because especially for Ball State, your guy is Patrick Rogers, and then your pins are your other main guys, and just running your middle early in this fifth set, or halfway through this fifth set, I guess you could say, is smart because you're putting pressure on there and establishing him early so that late in the game when it's a pressure situation and you want to set your best guy, they still have to respect the other guys, you know? So it's a really good choice by the setter. Deep out of system here. We got Harkey. Gosh, that's a huge swing. From 12 feet off the net, still contacting it high, taking it to a good angle. Good dig, though. Seems like a backup libero for D-spec or something. Let's go out of system here. Big guy. Ripping it into the block. And, you know, for him, since he's contacting it so high and he's, you know, swinging super high, it's a lot smarter for him to just rip it into the block and keep it high and go for hands like that than it is for a smaller guy that's attacking up at a block, you know, unless he's trying to get a tool. I don't know. It's a bunch of stuff, but good block. Another good block, though. Like this is right here, the triple block that I wanted from number 16 earlier on in this fifth set. Like that's a beautiful triple block. Obviously, a bit of a slower scenario here, easier scenario for this blocker, but closes it well, pretty close hip to hip, presses really well, bang. Really good block. That's pretty hype for the fifth set. It's a good time to have a triple block like that, too. Yep, and this is what I mean when I say throwing it down into the block. You know, if you're throwing it flat into the block, it's much better for you than throwing it down into the block because then when it goes off the block, it's also going to continue to go down, and it's harder to cover, you know? Obviously, I would assume that he was trying to go for this gap here or trying to go around the block maybe. But that's a good block by number 9 there, that setter. Just to stay disciplined, stay stable there. Good touch. Hey, wait, it's fine. For number 9, for going against a big mismatch right here, having this happen where he doesn't score on you there for a joust where he could have probably gone OT on you. Totally fair. You live with that. That's great. And then you get a great soft touch here. I want to see that real quick. And, you know, I don't know if that's... I don't want to say that that's ego from him, like trying to bounce it, because I think maybe he's just taking it cross and it goes down a little bit further than he wants. But that is a phenomenal block move by him because he's mismatched. Again, like I'll say that again, he's mismatched, and so he's okay with living with a soft touch like this. Like this is his phenomenal block right there, you know. And they're able to run in their offense, run that middle again. And even here, when he's on the 3, this middle's pushing over because Patrick Rogers is over here and he's following the middle right now. And he still runs the middle. Like I think this middle's trying to wait and try to be up there for Patrick Rogers. And he's still like, okay, I know you're over here, but I still don't think that you're going for the middle. Sets the middle. Phenomenal set. Phenomenal run. Now they're up 11-8 in the 5th here. Let's see. Fine pass. We can live with that. Patrick Rogers, pretty good swing. I mean, he's keeping it high at least. Kind of an unfortunate way that it came off the hands there where it just slowed down so much. Great soft touch. Again, same deal. When you're going against, and I wouldn't say that this is as big of a mismatch, but when you're going against such a big hitter, you can totally live with a soft touch like that. And I think number 3 kind of just went too far in. But it's a solo block, so that's kind of fair. It's fair. There's so many factors. Volleyballs, there's so many things happening, you know. But just, we'll see. But yeah, this is, again, like now even here, middle's running over here. This middle stays with Patrick Rogers. Fully stays with Patrick Rogers. We got a double block over here, solo block over here. No kill. 9-11 here. 9-11, and this is good defense here. Sitting behind the block, getting ready to move, popping it up. Ball's still alive at least. Good save by him. He's kind of on his toes a lot. Oof. Good runs by Pepperdine here. Guy brings it down a little bit, but it works out well. 10-11. Let's see how we finish this off here. It's It's 10-11 deep in the fifth set here. Wow, big block. That's a really big block. You know, Patrick's a smart kid. He's trying to go hands here, but I think it's the wrong choice. Obviously, if he gets the edge of this block, that's wonderful. That's a lot of edge, but he tries to go for the hands there. I don't know if he's going for the pinky or going for the fingers, but yeah, that's a rough choice to try to challenge the biggest blocker on the court right there. Like this he's got his sternum up at the top of the tape. He's probably touching the top of the antenna on this block here. And you have two smaller guys. I think if he tried to crank that sharp cross, that would have worked out pretty well for him. But he challenges the big block. Doesn't work out for him. He's a smart guy, though. I bet he gets a kill next time he gets one. Let's see here. Out there, let's see. Yeah, I don't know. This seems like a misconnection. Just a ball inside, maybe. Or low. Can't tell. Throws it through. Back to him again. And again, like, I really like the setter decisions here because he's putting a lot of faith in these guys that are not Patrick Rogers, and that's not to say that these guys are scrubs. I know for a fact these guys are not scrubs, but you can see what Pepperdine's doing. Like Pepperdine is really, really focusing on Patrick Rogers, and they're trying to. Pepperdine's assuming that they're just with Ball State that Ball State's gonna just spam the Patrick Rogers button, and Ball State's not doing that because this guy can still do this. Like he's still a beast, and he's still gonna get kills. Very nice. And I don't know, I love that when I see that in a team, like the ability to trust everybody in deep scenarios like that, Let's see. I mean, I think it seems like they're doing kind of a similar thing here with Hartke here, where they're kind of trying to get a double block in front of him and trusting their other guys too. So good for both teams to trust all their guys. Oh, wow. Good serve. Little lefty over here. Cranking it down the line. That's a really nice serve. Like, that's right in the corner. Patrick Rogers just stabs at it, keeps the ball alive. Let's see how it works out. Wow. So now Pep's up 13-12. Wow. Huge, huge serve from this fella. Then he rips a nice one to the libero. Oof. Yeesh. Yeah, again, that's a huge, huge block. But I think he might have gotten net, no? No, I guess he didn't. Wow, that's a huge. I mean, I assume miscommunication, sorry. This is a miscommunication about trying to bring him in. And, yeah, big time misconnection. Wow. Miscommunication. 14-12. Pepperdine has game point here. Serve spec, misses his serve after two great serves. Good for him. Patrick Rogers, huge serve. Really nice serve up that seam. Like, this is make it or break it. This kid's clutch. Rips it in the seam. They're deep out of system here. Huge block here. That's a huge block. Yeah, he doesn't get this ball fully on his right shoulder here. He's kind of reaching in here, right there. Doesn't take it as high as he wants to. Let's see where the contact point is here. Yeah, it just seems like he's, trying to muscle it a little bit. And he gets blocked. 14-14. Patrick Rogers. Another huge serve. That's an ace. Another huge serve in the seam. Wow, that's beautiful. That's a phenomenal serve. Now they have the advantage here. 15-14. I think I know what happens here. Big ace serve from Patrick Rogers. That kid's clutch. After not the best set from him attacking-wise, he rips 3 phenomenal serves to finish it out. What a game. They continue. Thanks for watching.